Hello everyone, Writer Time is here, and this is the review and detailed breakdown from the Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 24. Let's check the video. Continuing from the previous episode, after the resolution of the previous major crisis, Shugoden returned to a peaceful state. However, at the moment, Terra is facing an abnormal heatwave attack. Due to this intense hot weather, the Kosoba server has gone out of control. Tofu crops have suffered damage, and the snow in Gakuen has also melted. As the entire Terra faces with this abnormal heat, Gira finds himself in a difficult situation. On one hand, he must find a solution to this issue, and on the other hand, he must suppress his own emotions as an older brother in front of Boone in order to fulfill his role as a tyrant. Seeing this, Yama suggests that everyone should organize a big festival in Shugoden. The Shugoden Summer Festival begins with numerous stalls set up in the middle of the city. Everyone has a great time enjoying this festival. While everyone gets immersed in the joy of welcoming the summer festival, on the other side, Bugnarak is executing his plan to destroy Terra. King-Ohger tries to stop Bugnarak's plan, but ends up being defeated by him. After King-Ohger's departure, Jeremy appears in front of Bugnarak and tries to reason with him, but it's no use. Jeremy is forced to fight with Bugnarak. And in the end, he had to hear the bitter truth from Bugnarak about how the story he wrote turned Bugnarak into the enemy of humanity, causing them to be ostracized for a sin they didn't even know the truth of. Jeremy then appears in the middle of the festival and unintentionally reveals his half-Bugnarak arms to Boone, making Boone react with fear. After learning the truth from Boone, Jeremy finally realized the grave mistake he had made. Zeragijim suddenly appears in Shugoden. The situation forces Gira and the others to transform and call upon the extreme King-Ohger to defeat Zeragijim. Zeragijim is easily defeated by King-Ohger, but they realize that the large hole dug by Zeragijim leads to the Terra core, causing the abnormal hate wave in the Five Kingdoms. Bugnarak appears before King-Ohger, leading to a confrontation between the two sides. Just as King-Ohger is about to eliminate Bugnarak, Jeremy intervenes and reveals a major secret he had kept hidden all of this time. Jeremy tries to persuade Bugnarak to stop his plan, but Bugnarak, already consumed by anger, refuses to listen. He devours Shugoden's soul and enters Terra core, intending to explode himself along with Terra. Now, let's discuss other details in this episode. First of all, I really liked how Gira character development didn't stop after he became a king. It just took a different direction. I appreciate how they portrayed Gira character in today's episode, showing how he continues to learn to be a good king. He initially maintains his tyrant role out of fear that people won't respect him as king. However, with the help of Yama and the others, Gira sheds his role as a tyrant king and decides to be a ruler who will always protect his people. Second, the story created by Jeremy becomes a double-edged sword for himself and Bugnarak. Unintentionally, Jeremy's story contributed to the beginning of mankind's hostility towards Bugnarak. For years, Bugnarak were hated and exiled to the deepest underground pits, carrying the burden of a sin they didn't even know the truth about. Learning this truth, I genuinely feel sympathy for Bugnarak. His hatred and anger towards humanity makes sense after enduring years of discrimination. It's truly ironic to see how Bugnarak's own ancestors inadvertently turned their people into enemies of humanity and subjected them to discrimination. Third, it is revealed that Jeremy shares the same family name as Bugnarak. His real name is Jeremy Bugnarak Nebrazieri. This secret surprises everyone, including Bugnarak himself. Looking back at episode 12, it makes sense to see how Jeremy's mother, who fell in love with humans, was expelled by her family due to the disgrace it would bring to the Bugnarak royal family. In addition, the story that Jeremy provides about Bugnarak has multiple interpretations. It's apparent that despite his thousands of years of life, he still has a somewhat simplistic understanding of human nature. He fails to grasp that humans might feel fear and hostility towards something they perceive as superior. This misunderstanding likely contributed to the story he created, turning his own people into enemies of humanity. This irony emerges when compared to Gira, who genuinely works hard to gain recognition from his people, while Jeremy appears somewhat superficial as he attempts to change everything with his words, lacking real action. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Jeremy's character, but this aspect shows Jeremy is not a perfect character and still has room to developing his character. Lastly, the weekly monster is Zeragijim, whose design is inspired by the crayfish. Interestingly, Zarigajim design becomes the first Bugnarak originating from the family of freshwater crustaceans. The main reason for choosing crayfish as the design for this episode's enemy is likely related to the tradition in several countries where people go to catch crayfish at the beginning of summer. Since this episode is created to celebrate the summer festival, the appearance of Zarigajim with its crayfish-inspired design still makes sense. Oh, and don't forget the efforts of the staff to bring the summer festival atmosphere to the series with a unique touch from the kingdom in Terra. Furthermore, the information reveals that the staff actually brought in a chef to teach the Kaguraji actor how to make yakisoba. The yakisoba was enjoyed by the staff and cast after the scene was completed, indicating that they truly had a great time on the set. That's all for today's video. If you have any other interesting theories about this episode, feel free to write them in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thanks to all the viewers on this channel. See you again in the next video.